This may sound like something straight out of a comic book, but it's true. Back in World War II, a bizarre, little-known operation, cleverly nicknamed Baseball, altered the course of one of the most devastating wars in history. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might hear the phrase playing baseball in a way you never expected. Let me set the stage for you. The year was 1944. World War II was at its peak. The Allied forces had a massive challenge ahead of them: how to take out the German Sixth Corps' fortified military depots and supply chains, which were so well protected an entire army seemed insufficient to breach them. Traditional military strategies weren't working. Creative action was required, and here's where the story gets mind-bending. The brainchild of a group of American engineers, scientists, and military minds was an idea involving, wait for it, bats. Yes, the flying creatures. Picture this: a specialized unit in the army known as the Rapid Interdiction Tactical Entanglement Operations Team, or RITE Ops. For short, conceptualized Operation Night Baseball. It wasn't about actual bats, as in baseball bats, nor about games. No, this was bats of nature. Confused? Let me explain. The team decided to recruit bats as silent and unsuspecting carriers of incendiary devices. But not just any bats, Mexican free-tailed bats, known for their ability to carry heavy loads relative to their body weight and their rich colony availability in the southwestern United States. Historians are still debating over who exactly came up with this eccentric idea, but the intention was clear. Bats could penetrate enemy facilities where even airplanes and artillery couldn't. This winged army could infiltrate nooks and crannies where guards least expected, triggering small but impactful fire hazards at the heart of Germany's fueling depots, munition warehouses, and rail depots. It was an operation that combined environmental ingenuity with sheer audacity. Sounds wild, right? But wait, it gets better. Picture the scale of the project. Teams of biologists, zoologists, and military operatives descended upon Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico to trap bats in the thousands. Once secured, small incendiary bombs were attached to the bats using thin wires, essentially converting each bat into a tiny bomber. These devices were designed with time delay fuses so they detonate after the bats had reached their destinations. To test this concept, simulations were set up on replica buildings modeled after German industrial depots. And guess what? The bats' ability to locate crevices proved shockingly accurate. They roosted in warehouses, factory ceilings, and attics, precisely where the impact of a fire would be most destructive. For a time, it seemed like Operation Night Baseball could become the ultimate unorthodox weapon against the Axis powers. But here's where things took a twist. As with any elaborate plan, there were unforeseen challenges. During a test flight in a controlled military zone, several bats failed to reach the intended target and instead targeted the wrong buildings. One such unfortunate case, the barracks of the American testers themselves. Imagine having to explain that in a field report. Still, the project moved forward, and the potential for success was immense. The bats, at peak readiness, could achieve what human soldiers couldn't: sneak behind enemy lines by pure instinct, undetected, and wreak havoc at Germany's factories fueling their relentless war machine. However, as the war rapidly evolved, so did Allied strategies. The secret Manhattan Project, focused on developing atomic bombs, drew increasing attention and resources. With the promise of nuclear capabilities looming large, Operation Night Baseball saw its fate sealed by the shadow of history's most powerful weapon. By 1945, with the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki later on the horizon, the military scrapped the project, relegating battalion-backed bats forever to obscurity. But here's the kicker. The story of Operation Night Baseball speaks volumes about human ingenuity. and our desperate capability to think outside the box under dire circumstances. While the plan never saw real-world deployment, it opened new chapters of strategic warfare development that emphasized resourcefulness and collaboration between science and the military. Now, here's something to ponder. If Operation Night Baseball had succeeded and gained approval, could it have spared us the irrevocable trauma of nuclear bombings by hastening the war's end earlier? Perhaps in an alternate timeline, thousands of bats carried fire instead of bombers carrying fission flames. Fascinating thought, isn't it? And that's it for today's Historical Hidden Gems episode. What do you think about Operation Night Baseball? Ingenious or just plain bizarre? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like more weird, yet true tales from history, don't forget to like and subscribe. Who knows what other stories are tucked in the lesser-known pages of history, waiting to blow your mind?